Derek Byerlee has a long experience in agricultural development with CGIAR and the World Bank, where he has been lead author of the 2008 World Development Report on Agriculture. And he was a pioneer in developing participatory methods for small-scale farmers in low-income countries. And recently, he got more interested into digital agriculture applications for smallholders. So, Derek, you will have the difficult task to wrap up after what we have discovered today and to draw lessons, but I'm confident. And so, Derek, the floor is yours.
Okay. Thank you very much. And it's really been great for me to participate today in these discussions and hear about your farmer-centric on-farm experimentation. This was very much part of the work that I was involved in through the starting the late 1970s up through the 1990s. We called it participatory on-farm research, but it had many of the same elements that you were talking about in OFE. We started with much more the scientist in charge, and then moved on to farmer design, innovation, learning, shared learning, and so on. All of this, very many of the same elements that we have been discussing. And in the cosmological, a logical outcome of this was that in recent years the integration of digital technologies into OFE. Okay, so as far as policy goes, I think we've already heard the policy linkages to OFE can work two ways. First of all, in terms of policies to enable OFE, there are many parallels and many of the challenges that you are facing are not new challenges. And just to mention a couple that were very much with us in our area of participatory on-farm research with the international centers. One is the incentives and culture and behavioral change for scientists. There's definitely issues there of scientists having the incentives to participate in this type of work, whether they and potential conflicts with getting out in high power publications. That's certainly a continuing issue and one that we dealt with, and no easy answers. Another one is financing, how to finance this type of work. There was a lot of the effort to provide grants and eventually empowering farmers to use grants for on-farm experimentation. But the real problem with that was the sustainability, and over time, and particularly since a lot of this work was funded from outside by donors, a lot of that work wound down. And then there are new challenges as well in terms of the policy environment, and the one that you've just discussed is on data governance. That's a really huge challenge, and I think that certainly lots of things to be worked out, and I think in the context of smallholder agriculture, a lot of work still to be done. Well, it hasn't really we haven't even initiated the type of work you're talking about on data governance in the context of smallholder agriculture. The other way to look at it is to link from on-farm experimentation, OFE, to policy. How can OFE influence the policy and institutional environment? And here, this was also very much part of our work, and particularly in terms of input supply. But in recent years, there's a whole new school of work on evaluating policies at the farm level and influencing policies. And this is the randomized control trials. We haven't heard much about that today. These randomized control trials are different in that the experimental unit is a farm household or community or village, and you randomize households or communities. This is the work received the Nobel Prize in Economics in 2019, so it's very much an economics professional activity, but becoming very much mainstream. And quite a few of these, what they call RCTs, randomized control trials, have been used to measure impacts of digital technologies in agriculture. So there's quite a lot of evidence out there on that. And I think you see the most convincing evidence of the payoffs to digital technologies in agriculture through RCTs in terms of access to finance, market price information, insurance mechanisms, and so on, sort of more off-farm type activities with the policy, in terms of the policy environment. There's also been quite a few RCTs related to precision farm management, and there's a recent meta review published in Science on this, and I think the results are pretty modest, and a group like you would not be surprised that these results have not been that they've not found much impact of precision farm management. And part of it is that there's a very top-down RCTs. There's been really no consultation with farmers in terms of the types of data that's offered. Is it relevant? Is it useful? Even the quality of the data. So I think somebody mentioned today trust in data, and that's really critical in terms of the use of precision farm management, that farmers trust what they receive through digital technologies. So even though these have been very top-down designs, designed often in Boston or Berkeley, I do see an opportunity for this group working on OFE to work with the group working on RCTs. So you could work for example, in terms of influencing, using much more participatory approaches involving farmers in the design of RCTs. And you could also use RCTs to evaluate ways to facilitate farmer-centric OFE in terms of methods of collective action, shared learning, and so on. So I think that there is an opportunity here to build links between what you're doing and the community of economists working on RCTs. And then the final comment I think I haven't heard much today about is evaluation. I think this is really in terms of the scale-up issue, taking it to scale. We really need strong evaluation data. Evidence, and this can be both participatory types of evaluation methods as well as the more formal quantitative methods that could provide the evidence to take to scale. So with that, I will thank you all, and it's really exciting to see after many years for me, it's this group that's really so much involved in promoting farmer-centric OFE, what we call participatory on-farm research. Thank you.